The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. What is shaping up to be an outstanding season. Roll into race number 3 of 11 here in Next Gen Old School Racing Series. Tonight's race is the National Kidney Foundation 75. It's 5 laps here at Pocono. Hold on to your butts because the race is going to be a wild one. We got the old school NASCAR out there. They're also getting ready to roll right in qualifying. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Our still qualifying session gets fired off. We got a few drivers making their way out on Speedway. Now, this is the 6 of Eric Blount. Baby. Came from. Of Eric Blount. One of the first cars out on the way. Brandon Mefford in the 83. Making hit around this track for his warm-up lap. Eric Robinson Yeah, the 50 way. Huh. Like, how bad is it? Oh no, I'll keep an eye on it. Thank you for letting me know. Saying my mic is cutting out. That's no good. Good at all. Well, I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to try and work on this and see if we can make it any better for long haul. Qualifying rolls on. The first car to cross the start finish line, post up a time. That is the 6 of Eric Blount. Drivers make their way across the start finish line. Tommy Delago in the 5 machine right now, sitting on top of the leaderboard, the 58.287. Bruce Pearson, Gordon Larson, second and third. Travis Smith in the 9 now sits atop the leader, a 57.953. Qualifying session going to be 5 minutes long. Drivers have to turn 2 laps in this session. So with that being said, 5 minutes here at Pocono. You need to get out there, get hustling if you're a qualifying lap. About, I don't know, it's over a minute for your out lap. Qualifying times coming in at 57.58 seconds. You're looking taking about 3 minutes in total in your qualifying time. As the 9 of Travis Smith, top of the leaderboard, comes around for his second lap. It is not going to be faster, a 58.6. That 57.95 is what Travis Smith is going to qualify with. Jason Gardner in the 93, out on the speedway right now as well. Gardner going to have a solid run here in this qualifying effort. Right now, Jason Gardner sitting in 11th spot. Looking to be a little sideways. A lot of drivers talking about how loose these cars were feeling. Sideways throughout the night. Gardner makes his way off of turn number 3. You can see just what we mean by that sideways action, that 93. Skating towards the wall, but Gardner it's in check, and 59.05 going to be time up in 11th spot. M. Woodson in the 40 machine out on the speedway. Well, he's going to get his qualifying time in. Woodson makes his way to the front stretch. Tim now triggering the first lap, and Woodson a 1 minute 1 second 5. Woodson right now the only car out on the track for qualifying. So what we will do here, and just if Woodson best his time here pretty machine. Right now he is in 15th spot. Last time I counted, like 6 cars out here. So far, only 15 have taken a qualifying time. So a lot of drivers expecting not to qualify. Woodson, start finish line, going to improve his time, but not his place. 1 minute 7.6. Shuts it down. That is qualifying session to a close. Step away for the national anthem. I'll make sure to pick right here our next gen old school series at the National Kid Foundation 5. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers, start taking to the grid. Go ahead and get right into starting lineup for this one. On the inside of row number 1, going to be the 9 of Travis Smith. Outside of row number 1 in the... That's none other than Ilago. Row number 2 going to be made up of the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Side, that's the 43 of Mitchell Snare. Row number 3 will be Gordon Larson in the 01 and Bruce Pearson on the outside. Row 4 made up of Zachary Taylor and Eric Blount. Row number 5 will be the of Brian Beach on his outside. be Lance Yan 77. Row number 6 will be Jason Gardner in the 93 machine and Dustin Ping in the 1 on the outside. Row number 7 will be made up of the 98 of Thomas Light, Derek Robinson outside in the 58. Row number 8, Tim Woodson in the 40 machine. Those are our drivers who are all qualified, and two drivers lined up by iRacing. Well, Brian Littleton start on the outside of row number 8. Row number 9 on the inside, the 94 machine, that is Troy Radford. Outside, Brian Miskell Jr. in the 33. Row number 10 will be Damon Cox in the 57. Outside will be Dylan Blankenship in the 05. Row number 11 will be Tim Lee in the 22. On his outside, the 44 of Chris Mefford. In row number 12, the 46 of Justin Walters. The 34 of Doug Wysocki. Row number 13, I lost count there. Gary Ragland in the 61, Todd Willis in the 14. Row number... now I'm really losing count. David Cox in the 19 and Rick Greenaway in the 15 machine. And then finally, Travis Arthur bringing up the tail end of the field in the 86 machine. Drivers start to roll out this one. Travis Smith in the 9 machine. Finding himself side of row number 1, and on his outside, Tommy DeLago, yellow and red Kellogg number 5 machine. "26 cars taking to the grid." We do have 3 drivers who did not the bell. See if they're going to make their way out onto the speedway. Getting ready to fire this one off. Ace truck down and away. Travis Smith in control of this field, and the green flag is out, and away we go here in the National Kidney Foundation 75 and the long Pocono front stretch. Smith down to the bottom. He's going to take the early lead here. 83 of Brandon Mefford right there, Latin in the second spot. Tommy DeLago going to lose a couple spots here through that first turn. The 01 of Gordon Larson's going to slide up into third spot. DeLago finds himself sitting in 4th place right now. '43 machine of Mitchell Snare going to round out your top 5 here as they're coming around turn number 3. 43 drifting up just a little bit. That 22 machine, that is Zachary Taylor, got his nose down to the inside of Mitchell Snare's 43. They're going to drag race down the front stretch. Gordon Larson trying to take something away from the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Going to slot in right behind him. Travis Smith, meanwhile, has pulled away here. Go on board with Travis Smith. So Smith out to the early lead here. Everyone jockeying for positions behind him. Drivers have already started making their way forward. Have already started gaining ground and losing ground. It's all about where you're at, I guess. One driver who is moving forward That is the 05 of Dylan Blankenship as we got our first caution coming out. The 83 and the 05 are going to get together. I'm sorry, the 93. Jason Gardner getting in trouble here. And Dylan Blankenship, who was making his way forward, got right into that 93 as it looks like contact with the 93 and the 6 of Eric Blount. Gardner spinning up in front of the 05 of Dylan Blankenship. Can go on board with Blankenship. You can see the crash happening. Dylan trying to go up high, just can't miss it. Rest of the field makes its way around, and then they are going to turn around and get back into the Jason Gardner sitting on pit road. Dylan Blankenship did not come down pit road yet. 05. Like maybe he is trying to get up into his starting position, or I should say where timing and scoring had him. Caution came out. Eric Blount in the 6 looks like he's going to make his way onto pit road. Dylan in the 05 stays out, so old move by 05 of Blankenship. Have to come down pit road. With a quick caution coming out here on this one. Travis Smith in the 9, your race leader. With Blankenship not coming down pit road, or is moved up 8 positions, our biggest mover in the race on lap number 4. One of the drivers falling up back quite a bit. Tim Woodson in the 40, falling 9 spots. Tim Woodson dropping back to the tail of the field here. Painted 40 machine. Travis Smith, your race leader, is the Silverado pace truck. Circles around this Pocono. Okay, go ahead and take a look at our race info for tonight. As I mentioned, this is the National Kidney Foundation 75. A lot of the drivers said that they are tackling the corners here by shifting. Means you gotta be easy on the transmission. Do not want to downshift and pop that engine. Other thing that they're doing, they are performing a balancing act with the throttle, trying to get the car to rotate while rolling into the throttle, but cannot get over aggressive that throttle pedal, or else it will get around. So they are trying to find a fine line where the car steps out, that they keep it under control. We will expect about 30 laps on a fuel run, give or take, how this thing plays out with drivers working the throttle, the tire run, how much off time they need, the tires wear out. Of course, no fast repairs here in the next gen series. This one is going to be all about survival. Jason Gardner has already pulled pit lane. That 93 out of damage on it. Time a pit lane get paired up. side by side. The drivers get stacked up 2 by 2, nose to tail. Nice and pretty as the Silverado ready to pull out of the way. We're gonna let these guys loose once again. The green flag flies. Travis Smith wasting no time, getting a good jump on this one. So Smith goes into turn 1 unchallenged. Brandon Mefford, meanwhile, has nothing but a side window of the 22 of Zachary Taylor. Taylor steadily working his way forward as that 22 machine going to slide into second spot. And man, is he good at controlling that drift here. We got big stack up in the back. That is the 44 of Chris Mefford, last week race winner, finding himself in trouble here at Pocono. Troy Radford involved as well. Radford picked up the opening race win. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. 3 wide, down into the corner. Radford down on the bottom. And it looks like 2 separate incidences. The 98 get together. Thomas Light in the 98. Let's take another look at Thomas Light in this 98 machine. Ryan Miskell in the 33 just overshoots the corner entry. The 58 of Derek Robinson. Go on board with Robinson. He's the 33 drive in very deep. One more look at this one. 3 wide into the corner. The second group of cars goes. 58 and the 40 make contact. The 4 down the 61 going around. Ed Willis in the 4. A big stack up. Several cars get caught up in this one. The 98 going full on to pit road, so too is the 44, Chris Mefford. Chris Mefford, who picked up the win last week at Nashville. Also, tonight, as the point, and an 8-point lead over Troy Radford. Eric Blount in the 6 came tonight, 3rd place in the point standings. So the 6 machine of Eric Blount looking at his 2 competitors who had that points lead over him. He's going to be licking his chops just a little bit. So that's 6. Like that front end solid after his contact with the 93. Eric going to capitalize on a points battle here. As we got several cars on a pit road. That is Thomas Light, Derek Robinson, Tim Woodson, Troy Radford, Ryan Miskell, Dylan Blankenship, Tim Lee, Mefford, all sitting pit road. Jason Gardner, who's been sitting there since the first caution. Off of pit lane, here comes he. Quite a few drivers try to get rolling before the lead pack comes around to put them a lap down. So the light's going out. Chevy Silverado. Travis Smith, Zachary Taylor, sitting on 1 and 2. They're on the front row for this restart. Going to be getting the green flag. Lap 10 of 75. Zachary Taylor has made his way forward. Start on the outside of this one. Row number 2 will be Brandon Mefford and Mitchell Snare. Green flag comes out. Smith again, another tremendous launch. The 946 Designs machine out in front. Zachary Taylor in the 22. Following into his tire tracks, both cars really skewed out to the side through the entire corner, and we're going to see that all night long out of these things. Into the tunnel turn goes the 9 of Smith. Turn without incident. The 98. Sorry, that was the 18 of Brian Beach. Very, very sideways. That corner, but so far everyone holding on and get through that one. 18, turn number 3. Gordon Larson in the 01. Behind him, Tommy DeLago, Dustin Ping are battling it out. The 5 machine of DeLago. Good starting spot, but falling back quickly. Got one car down on the side. Not sure what that is, falling backward. That is 05. Dylan Blankenship making his way around, and I believe the 05 has popped an engine. That is what all the smoke was, the 05 of Blankenship up in smoke. We have another yellow coming out. This one looks like for David Cox. Cox in the 19 gets sideways, backs into that inside wall, and coming out. A tough break for Cox. Back the wall there. While we have a moment, tonight's races National Kidney Foundation 75. Let's see if we can't pull up the driver here in the 94 machine to talk a little bit with him. Troy Radford, you got your ears on?
I do, unfortunately.
Well, man, that 94 machine not looking the best of shape right now, but more importantly, let's talk a little bit about the National Kidney Foundation 75 here tonight at Pocono.
You know, National Kidney Foundation's always been a big one for me. It's been my one of my causes since we started with another league, and you know, it definitely has always meant a lot to me and my family. There's been a lot of kidney cancer as well as some other things with our family, so you know, it's a big one to me. So if anybody ever of course is thinking about, I don't know how many people just think about donating a kidney, but if you just think about donating a kidney and want to do something awesome, check them out. They do some really great work.
Well, Troy, you know, the National Kidney Foundation, play hockey with a lot of people that have kidney treatment one way or another. A lot of donors, a lot of people who have received them. It's really wild, and the fact that my hockey league, there's so many of them. Is this a common thing to give up a kidney and need a kidney?
Absolutely. So, you know, more common than it should be, but even myself, I was sitting at work yesterday and had a customer in front of me, and we connected because she had lost a kidney, and so just, you know, really great connections. And you know what you find is people who are definitely in the you know, the kidney thing, they have some of the biggest hearts out there, like just some of the coolest people I've met through that. So it's definitely something that's out there, but you know, whether you donate or receive or anything like that, it really doesn't slow you down at all. Like you said, you know, you guys are out there playing hockey. I'm sitting on my butt in front of a computer screen right now, but you know, lots of you know, it doesn't slow you down at all. You can do anything with it.
All right, Troy. Well, this 94 looking a little beat up right now. You got a game plan top 5 here tonight?
Everybody else wreck? I think that's my game plan.
All right, solid game plan.
Yeah, at this point, that's about what it's going to take. Unfortunately, there's a zero grip out here. And on one of those restarts, we went down in there, and I think somebody just overcooked the corner and lost it. And unfortunately, I didn't hit the wall all that hard, but I hit one of the sticky spots on it, which apparently gave me major engine damage. So it's not good.
All right, man. Well, tough break there for you, that 94. But, man, thank you for taking the time to talk to us about the National.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to add before we go and get back out and trying to tackle this triangle?
You know, the main thing is a big shout out here to everybody in this league, guys. I mean, we've got a brand new league on Wednesday nights, and we're pulling near 30 cars in a car that seems to be fairly hard to get good crowds in. So we've had some great races to start the season, and you know, we're gonna have some great ones after. So thank you for everybody for supporting this.
All right, that is the driver of the 90, Troy Radford, taking the time to talk to us. And engine damage for him here early on, not a good sign, but and still got the wherewithal to give us a little chatting to about the National Kidney Foundation. He's in the next gen old series have a special meaning to drivers. This is a self-funded league. Drivers each buy a race, but whatever charity, whatever foundation that they would like to see have some airtime, get some recognition. Sometimes the drivers don't want to have an interview. Drivers do. Here to be pushy. But if we get to talk to the drivers, then excellent. Travis Smith, Zachary Taylor on the front row for this restart. Then it's the 83, Brandon Medford, and the 43 of Mitchell Snare. Ryan Beach in the 18 machine. Gordon Larson in the 01 for row number 3. Pace car. And out of the way, that Silverado. Don't. That is Travis Smith as he rolls right into the throttle. That 9 machine getting up to speed very quickly. Mefford in the 83 trying to take that inside lane away from Zachary Taylor, and Mefford unable to get it done. Taylor battling back. Brandon Mefford now under attack from the 18. Brian Beach. The Beach trying to move into third spot. Side by side, they are racing for third spot. The 18 gonna get it done. Mefford falling to fourth spot. One car who is moving forward very quickly, for quite a bit, I should say, since the drop of the green flag. That is the 34, Doug Wysocki. Doug finding himself in a 15th spot. That 34 machine, so it's been at the back of the pack here, trying to battle through a lot of these crashes that are going on around him. Scratch on that 34 here. Doug Wysocki trying to keep his nose clean, trying to work his way forward. Driver making moves and working towards the front of the field. That is the 57 of Damon Cox. And now Cox finding himself in a battle with the 7 of Tim Lee. Tim gonna send it down on the inside. Damon Cox, let him have it and do a crossover. Cox now to the inside of the 7. A drag race to turn number 3. Cox down on the bottom. Tim Lee way up high through this corner. And Tim Lee going to pull away here. Hold on to 11th spot for the moment. Bruce Pearson and Eric Blount going side by side. Travis Smith just set the fastest lap of the race this time around, so a 58.16, the fastest lap. Several other drivers all setting their best lap, so really starting to pick up some speed here, starting to get this track figured out. All but 4 drivers did not set their best lap of the race on that last time around, so that is a wild stat. Everyone getting all the good they can off these tires, sideways off of turn number 3. Everybody really laying it down now. Field get sprung out a little bit here, all the way down the front stretch. We're gonna see just how long these tires last. In mind, I said about 30 laps on a fuel run are no pit road just for tires. Drivers have pitted because of contact, because of damage. Smith and Taylor both smoking the rear tires as they are going at it for this race lead. And Smith in the 9 gonna hold off the 20 Taylor. Taylor in that 22 machine. Now starting pressure onto the 9. And Beach sitting in 3rd under a little bit of pressure from the 43. These machines here at Pocono are just absolute sideways. That has got to be terrifying behind the wheel. Sideways lap after lap, corner after corner. Just being able to hold it right there and lay down some great laps. Eric Blount in the 6. Sitting in ninth spot, Bruce Pearson at 25, rounding out your top 10. Back to the front we go as Taylor in the 22, really trying to put pressure on the 9. Both cars really just send it into the corner. I mean, that is, to me, is just astounding to watch how they are just absolute sideways lap after lap. And the 22 of Taylor now going to try and make a run for the lead on the outside lane. Fifth, right there on the inside, Taylor closing the door on him as they go into turn number 1. Taylor way up to the high side. Smith holds it down low, but Taylor going to use the momentum up off the corner, and he is going to move into the race lead. For the first time tonight, we have a lead change. Zachary Taylor out in front, picking up the race lead. Brian Littleton in the 80 machine, sitting in 6th spot. Littleton taking his forward as well here since the drop of the green flag, gaining 10 positions so far this race. Go. Front row of this race. So, 7th spot. As the field now has started to really get out. Check in on last week's race winner. That is the 44 Chris Mefford, who got caught up in that incident earlier in this race. Mefford right now finding himself in 13th spot. Very long straightaway here at Pocono. Effort trying to chase down the 57 of Damon Cox. Effort just a 1/10 of a second faster that time than Cox was. That gap shrinking just a little bit. Tim Lee in the 7, making a move on the 25 of Pearson, but the yellow flag going to come out. It looks like Littleton, Ryan Littleton in the 80 machine, who had been making his way forward, going to go for a spin here. The 80 is snapping loose. Keeps it off the wall. Yellow flag, it fly because of this one. Round goes the 80 machine. Good save by not smacking the wall and unable to avoid Brian Littleton. Back under yellow we go, and I do expect to see everyone hit pit lane that has not pitted yet. Taylor, your race leader. Travis Smith. Second, Brian Beach. Third, or fourth, and rounding out your top 5, that is 83 effort. as they work. That is a fiscal year. Back on lap. Pit road comes in field. Smith getting right to the back bumper. Four tire stop for all of these guys. Have 3 sets of tires in total as the 18 to beat Billy for shooting his stall. Ryan Beach in the 18 looks to be lost. This is going to hurt the 18 machine a lot at this point, buddy. You might as well just drive on around and try again. He can't seem to get into his pit stall. Now he's found it. He is in. David Cox in the 19 machine did not come down pit lane, so he scored as the race leader in the 4. Had stayed out the 93. That is Jason Gardner making his way onto the racetrack. Hey, Gardner been a lot of time on the road at 93, finding himself about 8 laps down, 9 laps down. Cox is going to hit pit road. Tim Woodson does stay out. Woodson pitted on lap 7. Take over. There in the 40 pitted tires. Woodson staying out on older tires. How well these tires can hold up. Gonna be taking the green flag with 19 cars on the lap. 26 drivers took the green flag here. 9 drivers going race, signed up for the race, but 3 of them did not make it out. Grid and turned a lap. Green comes out. Tim Woodson and their drag race down the front stretch, but the 40 machine looked like maybe he missed a gear. Not something you'd want to see from someone on the front row as he falls all the way back. Taylor in the 22 to the inside of Mitchell Snare. Taylor to the race lead. Mitchell trying the crossover. Mitchell now on the point as they both drift through the tunnel turn. Mitchell with the clean air, gonna try and set sail on the field, but Travis Smith had done that as well at a very fast pace. Everyone fill him in as his tires fell off. Brian Miskell in the 33 pulls onto pit road. More work needed on that race car. 43 at Mitchell Snare, your race leader. The 20, Zachary Taylor hitting in second. Then it's Tommy Delago in the 5, finding himself in third. Gordon Larson fourth. Brandon Mefford in the 83, rounding out your top 5. As Taylor in the 22 gets sideways, he's able to hold on to it. He is going to lose several spots. Now Chris Mefford in the 44. Mefford in the 44 was licking his chops there, thinking maybe he could get himself another spot. Already gaining 16 positions from where he started the race. Again, the 22 of Taylor laying down some rubber on the track. Sideways, that machine just blowing smoke off the back tires. Taylor gonna have to try and settle his tire temps down a little bit. Gonna try and get to the side of Gordon Larson. Larson on that outside lane in the draft with the 83 of Mefford. Larson goes way up top. Taylor gonna be able to get to the side there easily. Now Taylor has to deal with Tommy Delago and Brandon Mefford running side by side. Taylor pushing hard on the 5 of Delago down the front stretch. Taylor in the 22. Now going to try and make it by the 83 of Brandon Mefford. The 22 machine, after going sideways in the tunnel turn, trying to recover from that mistake, moves back into second spot. So the 22 really hooked up here. Brandon Mefford not giving in just yet. 83 trying to get back to the inside line. Mefford, slouch of a driver behind the wheel himself, now trying to work the outside lane down the front stretch. So the battle for second place continues to rage on. Ryan Beach in the 18 machine. Looks like maybe his engine has let go. Big time smoke out of the 18, and one of the things we talked about at the start of this race is take it easy on the engine, take it easy on the RPMs when you're downshifting for a corner. And I gotta believe that is exactly what happened to the 18 of Brian Beach. He went into the corner, downshifted a little too early, spun those RPMs up way high, in the engine let go in dramatic fashion. So your race leader is the 43 of Mitchell Snare. Jack Taylor sitting second. Travis Smith, your early race leader, the 9 machine, finding himself in 7th spot. Smith lost quite a bit of ground under that yellow flag pit stops that we had. Finding himself in a 7th place, just ahead of Tim Lee, Rock 7 machine. Ulta 01 of Gordon Larson. "17 cars on the lead lap." Last car on the lead lap, that is the 40. Tim Woodson did not hit 4 tires under our most recent caution. Started this before the restart. Woodson looks like he's just out enjoying a nice drive here. He's got no one around him. Able to just hit his marks and run his line. Bad place to ride every now and then. 58, Derek Robinson. Finding himself in 16th spot. Canadian in this next gen race. Ontario. As we're working lap 34 of 75, the battle for the lead heats up just as the yellow flag comes out. Looks like the 25 of Bruce Pearson going to get into the 7 and the 80. Eric Blount gets into it as well. Starts with Brian Littleton, 80 machine, and the 7. Tim Lee. Take another look at this one. They're just going to make contact in the tunnel turn. The 25 of Pearson has nowhere to go. Eric Blount in the 6, hard on the binders as well, gets caught up in it. So caution flag flying. With that being said, guys, we're going to step away for a quick little break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
racing. You wanted the best, you got him 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to rock and roll here once again. Lap 37 of 75 on order for this one. The 43 machine of Mitchell Snare out in front. The 22 of Zachary Taylor on his outside. Been fighting some microphone issues, been changing some things. Hopefully y'all are sticking around with me. Not sure what more I can do on this thing to try and get it fixed. Is kind of it was a new problem, I guess. Doesn't seem to be affecting anything except for what I am putting out on the stream. Everywhere else, everyone can hear me just fine. So not sure. But the lights are out on the Chevy Silverado. We are stacked up 2 by 2, and we are going to let these guys fly once again. Mitchell Snare in the 43. Anxious to get onto the throttle, the 22 of Zachary Taylor. Right there as well. As the green flag comes out, we get back underway, and Taylor in the 22 machine going to get a better launch down the straightaway. As Taylor moves into the race lead, Mitchell Snare slotting into second spot, so the 22 back to the point as he puts it right down on that yellow line. Snare washing up just a little bit, just different angles of attack into that corner. "17 cars on the lead lap. Gary Ragland in the 61, gonna make contact with Derek Robinson. The 19 comes in the 61 of Ragland. Hard impact. Take another look at this one. Dustin Ping on the inside. The 58 up high. Ragland all the way up against the wall. Eric Blount getting involved. The 6 gonna smack in hard there. Troy Radford in the 94, and another one. We go on board with the 94. You can see he's just got nowhere to go. 14 machine, and his second one as well, Todd Willis. So a lot of cars getting involved into this one. And Taylor in the 22 scored as the race leader as the yellow flag comes back out. Last time these drivers in the top 9 hit pit road was lap 24. Lance Yancey in the 77 machine came down pit lane under the most recent caution. So we'll see if that 77 stays out and everyone else is going to hit pit lane. And it does not look so. It looks like most of this field's staying out. So with that being said, guys, we are going to step away for a quick minute. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers are all stacked up once again, 2x2, side by side, nose to tail. Gonna fire them off once again with 17 cars on the lead lap. It does look like we have quite a few cars out of this race now. Attrition starting to stack itself up. One of the things we talked about was being able to survive this race with no fast repairs available. Everyone would have to maintain their equipment. So here we go, green flag out. The 22 of Zachary Taylor gets a good launch. The 43 of Mitchell Snare has the back bumper to fend off the 83 of Brandon Mefford. But down to the inside is the 5 of Tommy DeLago. Tommy gonna slot into 4th place here. Meanwhile, they are 3 wide. Brian Littleton in the 80, Travis Smith in the 9, and we got another car going around. And it looks like Lance Yancey has gone around in the 77. He is caught up with the 98. Let's take a look at this one. Thomas Light in the 98 and the 77 of Lance Yancey getting together. 3 wide. Eric Blount all the way to the outside lane. And the 98 at Thomas Light goes up in smoke. Heavy, heavy damage on the 98 machine. So back under yellow as the 77 makes his way onto pit lane. 22 of Zachary Taylor, your race leader. So the 22 out in front, the 43 of Mitchell Snare. Again, we are back under yellow. And again, the option to hit pit road comes up. This time it puts everyone right at the end of being able to make it on a fuel run. I think these drivers think they're going to get another yellow, get another shot to put some tires on it. That is Chris Mefford in the 44. Who's going to make the break for pit lane. So Mefford on the pit road. He steps out of position to pull that pit stop off. He will be joined by Dustin Ping, Troy Radford. Nancy Yancey was already on pit lane. He is going to go a lap down. Bruce Pearson in the 25, rolling around. He's going to get one of his laps back. So what do you say we take a moment? Let's talk to the driver in the 83 machine. That is none other than Brandon Mefford. Brandon, you got your ears on, bud?
I sure do, man.
Well, Brandon, this 83 machine has found itself solidly inside the top 5 for most of this race. That seems to be a good spot to be.
Yeah, from the looks of it or the sounds of it, I don't want to be out back, that's for sure.
Well, tell us a little bit about what these cars are doing out there and what it's like to get this old school series, this 1987 car around this Pocono track.
It takes a lot of forearm. I mean, these things are all over the place. They're fun to drive. Mitchell and JR above me, they're making it look easy, but I'm back here struggling just to try to keep up. It's a lot of fun.
So, Brandon, as the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado, what's it going to take to get this 83 into victory lane here tonight?
I know there's a fast guy or two behind me, but I think it's going to take these two up here to make a big mistake for me to get by them. I think I got a 3rd or 4th place car here, and I'm going to take that if I can. If I get up there to win, I'm going to try that as well.
All right, man. Well, good luck in the rest of this race. Any shout-outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Well, yeah, I'd like to thank the broadcast and thank all these guys we're racing with. This is a lot of fun. It's a really fun league and one I'm proud to be a part of. And, just thank everybody for tuning in, watching this broadcast.
All right, that is Brandon Mefford right now finding himself sitting in 3rd spot. Zachary Taylor, Mitchell Snare on the front row. Row number 2, the 83 of Brandon Mefford and Tommy Delago. Then for row number 3, that is Gordon Larson and Brian Littleton in the 80 machine. Then Travis Smith and Damon Cox. And behind those two, it is Doug Wysocki in the 34 and Eric Blount in the 6 machine. As everyone's going to make their way through turn number 3, we get ready to rock and roll once again. The pace truck out of the way. Green flag is out. And Taylor in the 22 gets a good jump. The 22 wheels it through turns number 1. Brandon Mefford in the 83, gonna slot into second spot here. Mitchell Snare hard on his back bumper. They are gonna get a breakaway from everyone. Tommy Delago, then it's Travis Smith in the 9. And the inside move on Gordon Larson. We do have 15 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap, that is the 94 Troy Radford. Radford going to try and work to the inside of the 14 machine. Troy with heavy damage on the 94 has not been having the night he would like to have. But last car on the lead lap. First car, any number of laps down, that is Todd Willis, and Todd Willis does find himself 2 laps down. So the 14 machine, I'd love to have another yellow, get back one of his laps. The rest of this field probably wants to try and let this thing run out so that they can see who can take care of their tires, who abuses them, who gets up on the wheel and can drive their little hearts out. Right now it is Taylor out in front in that 22. Should have a new paint scheme on that 22, but Trading Paint's not letting us load up the new paint scheme in between sessions. So I look forward to seeing what shows up for Zachary Taylor next week. Speaking of Zachary Taylor, he just laid down the best lap of this race at a 57.61. The business picking up here at Pocono. Fastest lap of the race here when they completed lap 47, started lap 48. That 22 machine still sideways through the tunnel turn. Cars that look to be out of the race: Derek Robinson, Brian Beach, Dylan Blankenship, all seem to be out of the race. Cars sitting on pit road working on their race cars. That's Brian Miskell in the 33. He is many laps down. He's been sitting on pit road for the last half hour. David Cox working on his 19 machine. Gary Ragland in the 61. He has been sitting on pit road for the last half hour as well. Although that doesn't seem quite right. A little glitch in my timing and scoring there. And then, of course, this most recent yellow added Lance Yancey and Thomas Light to our pit road bystanders. The top 4 have really pulled away from the rest of the field. Travis Smith 2.75 seconds over Gordon Larson in the 01. He is trying to catch up to Mitchell Snare in the 43. But right now, everyone chasing the 22 of Zachary Taylor. With 26 laps to go. Taylor last on pit road on lap 24. I was told to expect about a 30 lap fuel run. We have had quite a few cautions in between, so I don't know just how far these guys are going to be able to go here. Oh, that is going to be interesting. We are coming up on about 26 laps since they were last on pit road. Now keep in mind we did have several cautions. With all that being said, Wayne, I don't know. Brian Littleton in the 80 machine, finding himself out on the speedway in 6th spot. He is trying to chase down the 0-1 of Gordon Larson. Two of the drivers who pitted, that is the 44 of Chris Mefford and the 1 of Dustin Ping. They both have made pit stops here, but a 2-tire stop for both of them. Or fuel only, maybe, I believe. Yeah, that is a fuel only stop for Chris Mefford and Dustin Ping. They are not on fresh tires, but they did stop for fuel. As Ping taking a peek to the inside of Mefford. So these two should be good to go the rest of the way. When this all shakes out, we'll see if the 44 and the 1 made the right decision to come down pit road, top off their tanks. But just something to keep in mind. The 44 and the 1 did pit for fuel only. Last time by, did not take tires. To Zachary Taylor in the 22. Now pulling out a 2.7 second lead over Brandon Mefford. Taylor not showing any signs of slowing down. Take a quick peek at what happened here to the 40 machine. Woodson getting sideways. Solid save there by the 40 through turn number 3. Was able to catch it. Good save by the 40 of Tim Woodson. As Taylor really spreads his wings here, he has opened up a huge gap now over Mitchell Snare in the 43, who has made his way by the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Travis Smith now closing in on the back bumper of the 83 machine. And Smith, who's pulled away from Gordon Larson by 5.5 seconds. So top 4 continuing to pull away. Zachary Taylor pulling away from the guys sitting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So Taylor really laying down some very fast lap times. Damon Cox in the 57. On the back bumper of the 7 of Tim Lee. Cox taking a peek to the inside here. Just doesn't have the run quite yet as they head for turn number 3. Tim Lee finding himself in 10th spot. Right behind Cox, that is the 6 of Eric Blount. And then behind Blount, that is the 34 of Doug Wysocki. Wysocki finding himself in 13th position. As the 34 of Wysocki continues to have another solid run. Good race by the 34 machine. Taylor getting by Todd Willis, putting him another lap down in the 14. Still have 15 cars on the lead lap. Delago taking a peek to the inside of Larson. The Kellogg's 5 machine trying to work to the inside of the 0-1. Off of turn number 1, that high lane prevailing for Larson for the moment. Mefford in the 44 sitting right there as well. So Chris Mefford going to try and maybe get these two while they're paying attention to each other. Not looking at what the 44 is doing. So single file they go into turn number 1, but each picking a different lane once they get there. Larson holding off the 5 for the moment. I look down timing and scoring and try and check in on some other battles here. Troy Radford had made his way around Jason Gardner, but Gardner was several more laps down than Radford. Troy Radford on the lead lap. Gardner multiple laps down as Gordon Larson is going to pull onto pit road here. The 0-1 has hit pit lane. Not sure what Gordon Larson is doing on pit road. Maybe a splash of fuel for the 0-1, but he is one of our first leaders to come down pit road under green flag conditions. So we'll see if we get 4 tires here, 2 tires or fuel only as the right sides go up. Your race leader is Zachary Taylor as the 22 makes his way onto the front stretch. And Gordon Larson now down and away. 4 tire stop for the 0-1. Travis Smith going to pull onto pit road. So Larson going a lap down. Brian Littleton hitting pit lane. We got several green flag pit stops shaping up here. And this could play into the hands of the 44 of Chris Mefford and the 1 of Dustin Ping. Remember, they came down pit road and topped off their fuel tanks under the most recent caution. So Taylor in the 22. Enjoying a 4-second lead over the 43 of Mitchell Snare. The 22 not coming down pit road this time. Snare going to hit pit lane. So too does Brandon Mefford. So second and third on the pit road now. As green flag pit stops have truly come to be the order of events. The 5 of Delago and the 44 of Mefford. That is second and third now. So Chris Mefford in the 44 machine could come away from this thing looking pretty. What a wild strategy call that would have been. Everyone else had stayed out under our most recent caution. And Mefford and Ping came down pit road. Dustin Ping in the 1, a little bit further off of Chris Mefford. As your race leader, Zachary Taylor, has pulled it on the pit road, the 22, in for his splash of fuel. And Mefford motors right on by to take the race lead. So Chris Mefford, your new race leader in the 44 machine. As Damon Cox, Tommy Nalago both hit pit road this time. Doug Wysocki in the 34 machine. One of the few drivers who has not yet come down pit road. Wysocki finding himself in 5th spot, but he is going to have to pit. He cannot make it the rest of the way. So the 34 of Doug Wysocki makes the hard left turn. And so Doug pitting from 5th place, going to top off his fuel tank. But now it is a race for the 44 of Chris Mefford. He is 4.8 seconds ahead of Dustin Ping. Dustin Ping, that car way off in the distance. So Chris Mefford, Dustin Ping, who did not hit pit lane during this green flag pit stop because they pitted on lap 43. As everything has cycled around, they have inherited 1st and 2nd place. Tim Lee in the 7 machine has found himself sitting in 3rd. Tim Lee last on pit road on lap 39. And so Tim Lee in the 7 could have enough fuel here to make it the rest of the way. It is going to be a close one on his fuel tank. Behind him, that is Eric Blount in the 6. Blount last on pit road on lap 35. Keep in mind, we are working lap 63 here. So Blount could be trying to stretch this maybe a touch too far. But if he's done a good job at saving fuel, that 6 could make it the rest of the way. Troy Radford in the 94 machine. Last on pit road, lap 43. He's good to go on the fuel as well. And then drivers who have recently pitted. Well, that's the 83 of Brandon Mefford. He leads all the drivers who recently pitted as he stopped for fuel only. No, Mefford, I believe, took right side tires, as I am being told here. Zachary Taylor, 4 tires stop. He has fallen 4.5 seconds behind Brandon Mefford. So Taylor sitting in 7th place. But all of that's going to get thrown out the window as the yellow flag is going to come out. As a 57 of Damon Cox is going to go around. Got loose off the tunnel turn. Has to shut it down. Hard on the binders, but keeps it off the wall. So all of Chris Mefford and Dustin Ping's hard planning goes out the window as we go back under yellow. So yellow flag coming out. Chris Mefford going to see his beautiful lead up in smoke. A great strategy being ruined by that untimely caution. And Chris Mefford in the 44 looks like he is going to take this opportunity to hit pit lane. Dustin Ping going to join him. Tim Lee, Eric Blount, Troy Radford all on the pit road this time. Brandon Mefford staying out. The 22, the 43, and the 9 all staying out this time as well. So they will cycle back into first, second, third, and fourth. Doug Wysocki in the 34 getting the free pass. All right, so yellow flag coming out once again. Let's see if we can maybe talk to, oh, I don't know. So many cars to choose from. I'm afraid to talk to anybody, if I'm going to be 100% honest. And most of that is, well, as soon as I talk to somebody, I'm going to end up giving them a curse. Again, they get the broadcaster's curse. Great race could be ruined because I gave the interview. It just, I don't want to do that to anybody. Everyone's fighting so hard for where they're at. So I guess we'll just talk to ourselves here. Talks amongst ourselves. How y'all doing? Y'all got a driver you think's going to win this one? You got a favorite driver you're rooting for? If you do, let me know who it is. Stand up and cheer for him all night long if you haven't been doing so. As the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado. 14 cars on the lead lap. $18 cars, 19 cars out on the racetrack. 26 drivers taking the green flag, so attrition has shown its ugly head here tonight. As 7 drivers have dropped out of the race. Those 7 being Lance Yancey, Thomas Light, Derek Robinson, Gary Ragland, Brian Beach, Brian Miskell, and Dylan Blankenship, our first one to go down here at Pocono. As the field heads into turn number 3, we're going to let them go. We'll have 8 laps to go here in the National Kidney Foundation 75. It has been a long one tonight. 75 laps here at Pocono. Pace truck out of the way. Green flag is out, and we got 8 laps to settle this one. Brandon Mefford in the 83. Gonna try and hold off the 22. But Zach Taylor has been a man on rails as Medford gets sideways as he sent it into the corner, overcorrects it, and Medford hard into the wall. He is going to bring out our yellow once again. We got another car sideways. That is Tim Lee. Doug Wysocki in the 34 going to go up and over Wysocki, who had just gotten the free pass. So Medford gets sideways. Tim Lee in the 7 spins out as well. And the 34, Doug Wysocki, iRacing, please fix that. That was a ridiculous one for Doug Wysocki. This 34 machine's going to come in here all but stopped. So he gets tagged by the 19. And then boop, up and over. That's realistic. Dang it, Doug. That is just the short end of that one for sure. The 19 of Cox, watching it all go down. Tried to pull down, got loose, and smacked into take one more look at the 19 as he gets into the 34, Doug Wysocki. So as Taylor in the 22 is going to get caught up to the Chevy Silverado, we're going to step away for a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the field starts to stack up side by side, nose to tail once again. The lights have gone out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. We get ready to fire them off with 4 laps to go when they take the green flag. Zachary Taylor, your race leader. That is the Miller 22 machine on the inside of row number 1. Mitchell Snare in the 43 on the outside. Inside row number 2, that is Travis Smith in the 9 machine. And Brian Littleton on his outside. Chris Mefford and Dustin Ping made their way onto pit road here under this caution flag. They are going to be restarting in 7th and 8th spot respectively. Pace truck down and away. Green flag is out, and we are back underway here for the National Kidney Foundation 75 as we get ready to wrap this one up. The 22 of Zachary Taylor now finds himself trying to hold off the 9 of Travis Smith. Taylor with a good entry into turn number 1. Smith really sideways there as he tried to put the power down, but was able to hold on to it. Slides up in front of the 43 of Mitchell Snare. Meanwhile, it is a land rush for the tunnel turn. Chris Mefford in the 44. Having some fresh tires on that machine. He is putting them to good use, that 44. All but sideways coming off the tunnel turn as he tries to work over Gordon Larson. Tommy Delago in the 5 machine trying to work over Chris Mefford. We'll see if that's going to work out. But all of this going on, and already Taylor pulling away by 0.8 of a second over Travis Smith. As the 44 of Mefford going to smack the wall a little bit. Keeps it rolling. That is going to cost him some speed heading to the tunnel turn. Delago's going to get by Brian Littleton. Going to try and get by as the 5 of Delago smacks the wall hard. And he is going to go up and over. He collects Chris Mefford as well. But the green flag stays out. So no yellow flag. Take that back. The yellow flag has come out. So Tommy Delago going hard up and over, tumbling. So as we had to reset the overlay there, as we come into our first attempt at a green-white checkered. Brandon Mefford, Tommy Delago, and Chris Mefford all looking to hit pit road. The 44, I should say, Chris Mefford did stay out. But man, Mefford pancaked the wall coming off of turn number 1, then nosed into the inside off the tunnel turn. So I saw Mefford and I thought that would have been Chris, but it ended up being Brandon Mefford as he makes his way off of pit lane. Brandon Mefford finding himself 1 lap down now. He is the first car 1 lap down. So with all of that has just happened, we now find ourselves with 12 cars on the lead lap. So with our first attempt at a green-white checkered here, Zachary Taylor in the 22, your race leader. Travis Smith sitting in second place. Mitchell Snare in the 43, third. Fourth place going to the 01 of Gordon Larson and Brian Littleton in the 80 machine, going to round out your top 5. Then it's Dustin Ping in the 1 machine sitting in 6th place. Troy Radford in the 94, holding on to 7th spot. Right behind him, that's the 6 of Eric Blount for 8th place. 9th, Tim Lee in the Xerox 7 machine. Tim Woodson rounding out your top 10 in that 40 machine. And Damon Cox in the 57, sitting in 11th. And as I said, the 44 of Chris Mefford, last car on the lead lap, he finds himself in 12th place. So lights go out on our pace truck. We get ready to fire them off one more time. What could be the last time as we work our first attempt at a green-white checkered. As they work their way through turn number 2 into kind of the shortest straightaway here at Pocono. Feel like you barely get set from the tunnel turn, and then you're already in position for turn number 3. But here we go. First attempt at a green-white checkered. Taylor, Smith on the front row. Could one of these guys bring it home? As the green flag comes out, Smith gets a good launch. And he is going to get out in front early here on the front stretch. Taylor trying to draft off of him. Smith throwing the block on Taylor, and Taylor not having any of it. They make contact, and Smith goes into the wall. And the yellow flag coming out once again. And Taylor looks torn up. That car looks to be sitting at an odd angle. Or I should say Travis Smith. Oh no, did I say Taylor or Smith? Travis Smith finally gets it rolling in the 9 machine. Let's take another look at this one. So Travis Smith throwing the block on the 22 of Zachary Taylor, and they get into turn number 1. And heavy impact. As we are on what appears to be the final lap under caution. So this one is going to finish under yellow. as the 22 makes his way through turn number 2 for the final time. Gordon Larson sitting in second spot right now. Dustin Ping in third. As the 22 catches up to the back of the pace truck. And the checkered flag is going to wave. And across the line goes Zachary Taylor. Gordon Larson going to bring this one home in a second. Oh, it's still showing final lap. But I did see the checkered flag come out, so not 100% sure on this one. Maybe it didn't. So my timing and scoring said it did. But everything's a bit wonky tonight. So as the field makes its way around, checkered flag has been displayed, finally getting caught up here. This has been a very interesting night, that is for sure. A lot of ups and downs. A whole lot of stuff happening behind the scenes here tonight. And so finally, this race coming to a close. The 22, Zachary Taylor, your race winner. Gordon Larson is second, and third will go to Dustin Ping as the 98. Thomas Light giving a little kiss to the 22. And so let's go ahead and start this post-race show off by talking to our race winner. That is the driver of the 22 machine, Zachary Taylor. How you doing out there tonight, man?
Oh, I'm, living life.
Living the life, living the dream, as you pick up the race win here tonight at Pocono. Tell us about that race and what it took to get that 22 machine around here so fast.
The race was exciting. Took a lot of hard work, a lot of skill. It's definitely a driver's track. You had to really be up on the wheels sawing. I think we all did a really fantastic job of not having more cautions than what we did tonight. It was just all about, hitting your shift points. That's what I think that's what tonight came down to. Obviously, restarts were a pretty big deal, too.
Well, that 22 Miller machine had a solid car. We saw you get sideways through, I think it was a tunnel turn, midway through the race, save it, and then somehow you were able to keep the tires under that thing and roll right back after that race lead. So this thing had to have been on rails for you tonight.
Oh yeah, it came down, to just hitting your marks. If you barely missed your mark, especially in turn 1 in the tunnel turn, if you just barely missed and went over a seam, an extra seam, you were screwed. It was just it was so loose. Whenever you shifted, the car wanted to just take off, like you were taking off in a plane. That's what it felt like. So, being able to hit those shift points was the biggest key.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go, any shout-outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, definitely. Troy Radford, Damon Cox, those two putting them on. Travis putting on a great race with me. Dustin, good job on the third place. Gordon on the second place. Everybody over at Hammer Down, Kendall, Thomas, Chuck, all you guys, y'all are awesome. Thank y'all for everything you do. Other than that, Sim Racing merch, being sponsoring this whole deal, JCI Racing Photos, Sim Speed Shop, all those guys.
That is Zachary Taylor, driver of the 22 machine, your race winner, getting it done here tonight. Now let's move on to our second place finisher, and that is none other than Gordon Larson. Larson, you pick up second place here tonight. Tell us a little bit about your race here in this Pocono National Kidney Foundation 75.
Well, first off, I just want to give a shout out to a few of my teammates out there, Troy, Damon, everybody and y'all up in the booth for everything y'all do. But it was a good race. My car felt real good. I was happy with it. There was a couple times I wish it would have just stayed green, just for pit cycle wise. But I think we could have maybe come out on top. But it was looking real good to be on top when they went down into one, but I'll take second. I'm happy.
Well, man, that 01 car looks like there isn't a scratch on it. And with all the cautions, all the carnage that we were seeing all throughout that, how did you manage to keep that car so clean?
Just paying attention, trying to stay out of trouble, and, trying not to overdrive the car.
Well, the 01 finds itself finishing second place here tonight. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Just like I said, shout out to y'all up in the booth, and shout out to everybody that makes this league go on.
All right, man. Well, once again, congratulations on second place, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Well, next race, as we're off next week for Thanksgiving.
Yep, appreciate it.
Now it's time to move on to our third place finisher. And well, that is none other than the driver in the one machine, and that is Dustin Ping, as he puts this into third place. And Dustin, it seemed like you at one point had the best strategy, as you and Chris Mefford had come down pit road under a caution. Everyone else had made green flag pit stops. Things were coming up rosy, but another couple cautions threw that strategy out the window.
Actually, the strategy fell out the window when I got kicked out of the race because my internet went down.
Oh, when did that happen?
Around lap 14, my internet went out, and then I went a lap down and had to work my way back up. I don't know how I finished third.
Well, man, you know what? That one kind of slipped through the cracks here in the broadcast booth. So tell us a little bit about all of that and what happened around that situation.
I don't know. My internet just dropped out and got back in the race, was a lap down, and actually lost a set of tires. And so I ran from like lap 16 all the way to that like second to third last caution there on one set of tires.
Well, an outstanding drive to come from a lap down after having something like that. You end up in third. Tell us at least about the last portion of this race where you were picking up spots here as everyone was coming down pit road.
Yeah, I was just trying to manage tires and fuel and see if I could me and Chris could make it to the end, and then that caution fell and it kind of changed everything.
Well, all right, man. Well, solid effort. Third place here, overcoming what usually knocks someone completely out of the race. So nice job on that one.
Yeah, I'm still shocked about that one too. So yeah, really good race for me.
Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, I want to thank Blackhawk Motorsports, Mitchell Snare, and Actica, and the Conrad Group.
All right, well, that is the driver of the one, Dustin Ping, finishing a surprise third. Heard it from him. He was just ecstatic about it. So that is going to wrap this one up for us here tonight. Well, you know what? I'll do it. Let's go through the results. Your race winner, Zachary Taylor. Gordon Larson finishing in second. Third going to Dustin Ping. We got to talk to all three of those drivers. Mitchell Snare, Brian Littleton rounding out the top five. Eric Blount going to finish in sixth. Troy Radford in seventh. Damon Cox finishing eighth. Tim Woodson ninth. 10th goes to Chris Mefford. Travis Smith finishing 11th. Tim Lee 12th. Doug Wysocki 13th. 14th goes to Brandon Mefford. Bruce Pearson finishing in 15th spot. 16th going to Todd Willis. Tommy DeLago finishing 17th. 18th goes to Jason Gardner. Thomas Light, 19th. 20th, Lance Yancey. Derek Robinson finishing 21st. 22nd goes to Gary Ragland. David Cox, 23rd. Brian Beach, 24th. 25th going to Brian Miskell Jr. And Dylan Blankenship going to finish in 26th spot here tonight. So I want to thank everyone for joining me here tonight as the Next Gen Racing Series brought you the National Kidney Foundation 75. And I hope to see you all in 2 weeks as we're off next week for Thanksgiving. Y'all enjoy your time with your family. And until we're at the track again for Talladega, well, y'all stay safe and have a good night.